Okay, well, welcome to another edition of A Few Minutes with the Mayor. My name is Damian Graham. I'm the Communications Director with the city, and I'm joined, of course, by Nancy McFarland, our illustrious Mayor. This is the bizarre early spring, February edition. It's 70 degrees outside right now.
That's
we're
right.
enjoying that.
Spring in North Carolina.
Spring in North Carolina, but we're shooting today from the Pope House Museum, which is actually the original home of Dr. Manassas Thomas Pope. He was a historic African-American doctor here in Raleigh. And his house is open from 10 to 2 on Saturdays. It is the only African-American historic house museum in the state of North Carolina. It's home, as I just said, to the first African-American licensed doctor. There are free tours to the public, and it has all the original furnishings and artifacts. So please come check it out when you have an opportunity. So Mayor, as always, there's been a lot going on. I always start off by saying just that, but it's true. Recently, just last week, you had a council retreat. So tell us what took place and what did you learn?
It was actually a really great retreat. We learned a lot. You know, we did some work as a council about how we govern as a body, and we have been working for a year developing a code of conduct, and we had discussions about that. And you know, that's really to lay some groundwork. So we have sort of rules in place, whether you're newly elected and it's not in response to anything anybody did. We've been working on it for a long time. But more importantly, we had reports from all of the different departments surrounding our strategic plan. We have 6 different focus areas, and we have cross-departmental teams that are working on those, such as, you know, safe, healthy neighborhoods, growth and planning. It's incredible the amount of work that is going on, all the projects, it's great to see all the departments working together. People are very excited about it. And, you know, it's easy on the council, excuse me, to get maybe caught up in a zoning case or caught up in, you know, the loudest thing in the minute. But, you know, we have 4,000 amazing employees that are doing incredible work across the city in parks and all these different areas. You know, kids program, I mean, it's just phenomenal. It really was. So it was great to hear all of that. And really, you know, it does work. It was very good at bringing the council and staff back together to sort of refocus and reprioritize and, you know, reaffirm, yes, these are our priorities, and working together as a body, all of us. It was great.
So it was 3 days, as you mentioned, staff and council together. I think one of the first topics was a new citizen survey that was conducted and now released. So you have the results to look at that. What did that survey tell us?
Well, it's about that thick. And it was great. It's the first time we've done a citywide survey. You know, people love Raleigh. I guess we knew that, but I mean, it was amazing for a city our size. And a lot of besides just getting the data, how many people felt what way, to look at us compared to other cities about our size, you know, which are considered big cities, over 250,000, I think. You know, people love it here. They love the parks. They feel very safe. Traffic's starting to bug everybody, which we know, which is why we pushed very hard to get this transit referendum passed. You know, I think one of the interesting discussions was, you know, people said that growth issues were important, but what does that really mean? You know, I think that means something different to different people. It's more traffic to some people. It may be new development that they don't like. I mean, it's different to everybody. So we talked about having more conversations about that, because obviously growth is a huge issue for us. Yes, I mean, it's great in many ways. We want to be a growing city, not a dying city, and we bring fabulous new people, new jobs, new businesses, new restaurants. I mean, just an amazing array of things, but it's also not everybody is prospering from that. So we have challenges with, you know, not everybody that moves here has a PhD and a job. So we talked a lot about that, about issues of equity, and always we talk about affordable housing, transportation, all of those things. But it was really, all in all, the numbers were pretty spectacular about how much people really love it here.
And it's great to just get that foundational measuring stick. So as we grow and advance, we can tell, have something to compare it to.
Yeah, it's broken down by zip codes. You could break it down and see responses in different areas of the city. How many people go to the parks, how many people go to different things. So it's it was really, really helpful.
And we're trying to drive ourselves more towards a data-based decision-making organization. So I think this helps support that. Well, a recurring theme on this show is always the evolution of Dorothea Dix Park. Yes. And I understand you have an exciting announcement to share.
We do. The Executive Master Planning Committee has picked our lead designer. It's Michael Van Valkenburg. His company is Michael Van Valkenburg Associates. And it was so hard. I think we started off with about 18 and narrowed it down to 6, and then we narrowed it down to 4, and they were all 4 spectacular. We would have gotten a fabulous park, but some of it really came down to fit. Who understands us? We kept saying, who gets us? Who gets it? And he is just a delight to work with. This is somebody and their team that's going to be intimately involved with us, not only the 2 years of the master planning, but really into how we see phasing and implementation and all of those things. And I think he really had the best balance of understanding that this park, of involving everybody, that this park has to be Raleigh. It has to feel Raleigh, but we also want something spectacular. We want to be the next greatest park in the United States. We really, and we all acknowledge we don't really know what that is. But he's done some amazing work. He did Brooklyn Bridge Park, which we went and toured, which, you wouldn't think that would translate to us, but just some of the creative ideas he came up and he had old piers that were there and turned them into amazing sports facilities.
Right.
So, to see everybody down there playing basketball, he had a roller rink. And then he had hidden play areas. You'd come around a corner and all of a sudden there'd be a little tiny stream and kids running through it and playing. It was really great the way he had designed that park for so many different experiences just as you move through it. So he's done some other fabulous things too. It really was a tough decision, I will tell you, because like I said, everybody else was so good, but it really boiled down to who gets it and who's the best fit for us. And I think he rose to the top.
Van Valkenburg.
Van Valkenburg, and he is a professor at Harvard of landscape architecture. He's going to resign that post to do this job.
Oh, wow.
So that's how dedicated he is to this. He is so excited.
Well, it sounds like we are too.
We are too. It's going to be a great journey.
All right. Well, so our last question is we have the 10th anniversary of the Environmental Awards. And in case folks don't know what that is, maybe share, what are the Environmental Awards? Why is it significant? And what's it mean for our community?
Well, it really is, I think it's huge for our community because this community has always recognized the importance of protecting the environment, honoring the environment. We have elections every 2 years, and I will tell you that always comes up. So I think you can kind of see by the people that keep getting elected that we as a community, and we've done amazing things as a city. I'm sure people have seen the parking spaces for electric chargers. And a lot of that has been partnering with industry, and they're paying for it. We had some chargers that were solar driven. I think its Horseshoe Farm Park is entirely self-sustaining. One of the things we talked about at the retreat is this project to really use our solid waste facility in the creation of methane gas and other gas that can be used in compressed gas to power cars. That's a long-term transition, but we as a city understand the need for that, and obviously we see it all the time in everything from development issues to stormwater control to buffer to we love our trees. Don't cut a tree down in this city but that really contributes to people that come here and say this is such a beautiful city, because we prioritize that. So these awards are to honor people in the community that have really stepped up and taken that to heart, whether it's in the way they design buildings, how they run their business. Larry's Beans is amazing. It's totally, everything in there is self-sustaining. It's just, sometimes it's personal awards, sometimes it's groups, sometimes it's corporations. We've had, everything from urban gardens to, the list is pretty incredible. NC State, of course, is an amazing partner and has done some really, really amazing things. And I think they even got an award one year from changing something that just looked like rough terrain into this amazing water garden that caught all the storm water, recycled it, reinfiltrated it into the ground, looked pretty, and you didn't even realize that's what it was. So I hope people come out. It's always a big event.
It is. It's the end of April, and it's always important to recognize great work, but also look forward to what's to come in the future.
Yeah.
So a good opportunity for both.
Thanks.
Well, Mayor, as always, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us, and we appreciate you taking time to watch this. So we will see you next month.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.